now I'm here telling you guys this because this is my experience with COINTELPRO. And this is what I get for joining the Black Panther Party. Not saying I was ever ashamed of being a member of the Black Panther Party. Matter of fact, I consider myself still a member of the Black Panther Party because as long as there's a 10-point program and the needs of the people not being met, I still stand on those principles. My politics haven't changed that much. I still believe in self-defense, and I believe everybody in this room has the right to defend themselves against any aggressor. And I just stand firm on those principles. Well, good morning. My name is Harold Taylor. I joined the Black Panther Party in 1967. I think I was 19 years old at the time. I worked in free breakfast programs. We went through the community organizing, finding out what people in the community wanted and how they wanted to deal with the police department as far as stopping and harassing people and brutalizing people. I did that for a couple of years. I helped organize different branches throughout the chapter. Los Angeles was the biggest chapter in Southern California, something like 500 of us. And we were scattered throughout the state to go to different branches. I went to San Diego, Santa Ana, and a few other places in Southern California organized the Black Panther Party. Organizing free breakfast programs, free health clinics, sickle cell anemia classes, all kind of different things we were doing. We worked from can't see in the morning to can't see at night. And most of the time we ate breakfast with the kids because it's probably the only meal we got for that day. And we had to endure the surveillance of the Los Angeles Police Department. They had a section called the Criminal Conspiracy Section, where they locked on to members of the Black Panther Party. And their job was to destroy the Black Panther Party along with the FBI. I was recruited by a friend of mine called Prentice Bunchy Carter. He was Deputy Minister of Defense. And he was killed at UCLA, shot in the back by a group of people called the US Organization, United Slaves of America. They were provoked to attack Black Panthers by the FBI. They pitted two black groups against each other. And John Huggins and Bunchy Carter was killed by them. Also John Savage in San Diego and Sylvester Bell and numerous other of my friends that I knew. I come in contact with the COINTEL program, counterintelligence program of the FBI in 1969. I was receiving letters, phone calls from FBI agents that were pretending like they were somebody else, telling my mother, telling my brothers, telling my sisters that if they caught me in the right place, they were going to kill me and all of this stuff. Well, anyway, in 1971, myself and two other brothers, John Bowman, who is deceased, he just passed away last month, and Ray Michael Boudreau, they were visiting me in Los Angeles, and we were supposed to meet somebody at a house who was an FBI informant. I didn't know it, didn't even know why I was going over there until I got a phone call for me to meet this guy over there. When I got there, knocked on the door, a little old lady answered the door, and I asked for this guy. His name was Young, Duck Young. She says, no, Duck Young lives here. So when I turned to walk away, I just happened to look down the street and I seen headlights on a car come on. I walked down to the car. Now, I admit, we had weapons because during that time we were being threatened and they were killing Panthers. And so we had the right to defend ourselves. That's what's one of the basic principles of the Black Panther Party. We have the right to defend ourselves and we have the right to observe the police. Well, anyway, as leaving the scene, me and my two co-defendants, we noticed there was another headlight come on in front of us. So I'm really suspicious of what's taking place, and I tell the two brothers, give me your weapons, let me out of the car, and I'll take off with them. That way, won't nothing happen. Well, they were like, we haven't done anything, you know. What's a gun charge? Back then, the California gun charge was $65.50 for possession of a firearm, as long as it was legal. Well, we put down the street maybe a few blocks, and black and white police car come and get behind us. Then I noticed it was about 4 cars behind us. They pull us over in a secluded area and approached the car. They told me to put my hands on the front seat. I was sitting in the rear passenger seat. I complied. I put my hands on the front seat. He kept hollering at me, "Put your hands on the front seat." I told him, I said, "What's the problem?" My hands were on the front seat. He had his pistol out, and my instinct said he's going to shoot. And he fired. I just jumped when he fired. He shot me in the top of the leg. I had a pistol, so I started shooting back. They were shooting from all, there was about 8 police around there. All of them were shooting. One police officer had 8 guns on him. They shot in the car with 280 times. We were all shot. I was shot 6 times. John Bowman was shot 4 times. I think Ray Michael was shot 6 or 7 times. We all survived. We went to jail, went to the hospital ward. It took them, that happened at 9 o'clock at night. We didn't get to the hospital till 12. They took the long way to the hospital. They were thinking maybe we would bleed to death. Not only did they shoot us up, they beat us. Matter of fact, the bullet that was in my right leg was stomped out of it. And we were left in the hospital for maybe a month. And it just so happened that a lawyer found out we were there, and we would start going to court. Johnny Cochran was the lawyer that came up to see me. So after that happened, we stayed in jail for maybe a year and a half fighting these charges, trying to get a jury of our own peers. And doing discovery motions, trying to find out just how did they get this information and where did this information come from, and was it legal for them to do the things that they were doing. And which 90% of the things that they were doing was illegal.
Like that. But here's a quote from J. Edgar Hoover's lieutenant about what they were doing. And he says, "During the 10 years that I was on the U.S. Intelligence Board, a board that receives the cream of intelligence for this country from all over the world and inside the United States, never once did I hear anybody, including myself, raise the question, is this course of action which we have agreed upon lawful? Is it legal? Is it ethical or moral? We never gave any thought to this realm of reasoning because we were just naturally pragmatists. The one thing we were concerned about was this: will this course of action work? Will it get us what we want? Will we reach the objective that we desire to reach? And so they were not concerned about the Constitution, which they had swore to uphold. They were not concerned about the law. The #1 law enforcement agency in the country was not concerned about obeying any of those laws. They were more so concerned about maintaining the status quo and keeping blacks, Hispanics, Asians, and other minorities, women, from rising to the point of their true potential, so that these kind of programs were not only used against the Black Panther Party, but Martin Luther King, SNCC, even non-violent, non-threatening groups like welfare rights organizations that women ran. So anything that could possibly upset the status quo, the counterintelligence program attacked.